Hey guys, great and fabulous, fabulous evening. Welcome to Island Girl Healing TV. And this is your host, Dr. Ruth Ann Newton Lightburn, hailing from Freeport, Grand Bahama. And with me tonight, listen to me, by special demand. I'm talking special demand. We had him here, I think it was a week and a half ago. And since then, I have persons saying, listen, whoever and whomever this gentleman is that I'm about to introduce, he needs to be back on again because we have some more questions for him. So let me get to it. It's my distinct pleasure to introduce to you this gentleman, Dr. Franco. He is a father of 9. He studied pre-med at Maryville College, acquired a bachelor's of holistic health and nutrition, master's in herbalism, received the coveted distinction of Natropathic Doctor, and serves as a health practitioner. In 2016, he received the Lifetime Achievement Award signed by none other than President Obama. And guys, I know we just lost him for a second there, but I know he's going to be coming back. So just give us a 1 second. Technical difficulties are always going to happen. So let's see if I can get him back on the line. Give me 1 second, guys. And something must have just happened. Hopefully he didn't have a blackout. Give me 1 second. But today's agenda, guys, is going to be absolutely amazing because we were going to talk about autoimmune diseases and lactating mothers and MS and heart disease. So give me 1 second to get him back on the line. I'm not sure what happened, but we will be checking out. Give me 1 second, guys. Okay, he's coming back, guys. Give us a second. He's coming in. Let's see. Technical difficulties will always happen. So you got to push through, push through, push through. So just let's give him 1 more second to get on. There we go.
All right.
Dr. Franco, you left me there for a minute. I was like, where's my partner in crime? He's gone.
I know. I had to overcome. I had to overcome.
I said he's gone and he left me.
You want to say I'm an old dog, but I'm learning new tricks. I will not let an iPhone do me in. No way. You got too much good information.
I hear that. Well, I introduced you and then you were gone.
I know.
Hey, I introduced you and I was like, where's Dr. Franco? He left me.
Well, I'm back. And as I like to say, always being a country boy, it's a plum pleasing pleasure being here this evening. And hopefully and prayerfully, you'll go get some more folks on the phone and you'll hear some answers to questions that have never really been answered before. And if they were answered, they weren't answered like we're going to answer them tonight. We have a radio program, and for many years we call it The Right Stuff Helps, because my family company, our brand, is Right Stuff Health Ministries. But on our last occasion, our last week's program, we changed the name to this. We now call it The Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but a lie. I don't know if you got that. In other words, we've been taught lots of lies.
I love that. The whole
truth. We've been taught lots of lies. So it's called The Truth, the whole truth, and nothing but a lie. And so what we do is we overturn those untruths that we've been told, or those half-truths that we've been given that have kept us sick. So I'm all set and ready to go.
Well, okay. So, Dr. Franco, I had a lot of people get back to me. They were like, Ruth Ann, I need Dr. Franco to answer these questions. So I said, you know what? We'll do another call with him and I will get on the line with him and we will let those answers be, so that everybody can hear them. So it's not just me keep on calling you, oh, Dr. Franco, Dr. Franco. So one of the questions that were asked is regarding these products. First of all, let's talk about what we are talking about here. We have a brand or a product called Sankey Global, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
And these products are known to reverse, recover, and restore. Is that correct?
That is very, very correct. Reverse, recover, and
Okay.
restore.
Okay. So after that, when I hear that, the first thing that somebody asked me, they said, well, can lactating mothers use these products? So I said, well, as far as I know, they're all natural, but I'll definitely ask. So can lactating mothers use these products?
Absolutely. One of the problems when women are breastfeeding is that most of the minerals or the nutrients that they have in their body, a lot of it's going to be absorbed or it's going to be pulled to the adult, to the child. The child's going to pull it from her body. And in most cases, because most people don't eat correctly, they don't digest properly, and they eat lots of dead food, so they really don't have many nutrients in the body. The poor child, the children are born in a lot of cases, or now that they're beginning to, literally drink milk from the mother's breast, they don't get good nutrients because she's not well fed. She's malnourished, so the poor child gets little or nothing in the form of nutrients. But these products, the Sankey products, literally have a patented blend of fermented things like olive leaf and the turmeric and the cacao. And so they're putting trillions of nutrients straight through into the cells at the mitochondrial level. So that mother is going to get nutrients like never ever before. And that child will probably stand up and start walking while he's drinking milk, okay? Because it'll be just that much energy getting into his body. So absolutely, the power and the nutrients in the living enzymes and minerals, especially the magnesium, all these things that are needed to make mother's milk strong are there, and they're in micronutrient formula, so it gets straight into the system immediately. And yes, lactating mothers would do well to be on the Sankey products.
So with the lactating mothers, would you recommend them to do the four products, or would you recommend them to start with the Balage, or they should actually be on the whole of the Hasaki along with the Balage, the
Okay. Uh, it's kind of acting up a little bit, kind of going dead in and out. But I think I heard enough of what you said. The For a mother who's literally breastfeeding, the whole gamut. She needs the whole thing. Now, if a mother was
Okay.
expecting, if she's expecting, that's different because the products are going to help with digestion. They're going to help with elimination, and if she gets the seawater and all the others together, she may go to the bathroom too much, and we don't want to cause a problem, before the baby is born. Okay, but once the baby is born, then she needs the whole regimen is basically a food-based regimen. You're talking food. You're talking nutrition. You're talking antioxidants. You're talking about building the immune system, building the blood, more circulation. You're talking about taking fat, grease, and sugars out of the system, turning them into immediate energy. So, yes, lactating mothers would be obliged to use the entire system. Of course, with counsel from the individual, the Sankey individual who's going to be talking to them, that particular lifestyle coach would be able to talk to them and talk them through. And yes, the whole system would be my suggestion to look at the whole system.
Okay, another question. One of the big things that came up, I know in our country, patients on dialysis, it's rampant. I don't know if it's from drink. I don't know what really causes the failure of the kidneys. However, a lot of persons are on dialysis. How can we assist with that? And with our products, can we assist in any way, shape, or form?
Absolutely. One of the problems with individuals going to dialysis, the majority of folks that go on dialysis had diabetes. Okay, so it's one of those things that come from diabetes, neuropathy, kidney failure, even heart attacks, and so forth. End result of diabetes, and in most cases, these people literally are dehydrated. Uh, the kidney has too much sugar and fat have gone through the kidney for because that's its job is to help filter out some of these things. And a lot of the fat and protein from animal products, a lot of the sugars and so forth, have clogged up and blocked that kidney from operating to the point where it just gets tired and it quits. Okay, it can no longer filter like it's supposed to. But when you start putting in micronutrients at the microcellular level, it gives the digestive tract a rest. It flushes the cells at the mitochondrial level. I mean, it goes straight in. I mean, it just straight into the cells and begins to flush them out. Well, that's doing the same thing to the pancreas. The pancreas is getting flushed out too. And then it's receiving little shock waves. It's actually getting energy and power right into the cell itself. So it's detoxifying, it's cleansing, it's being nourished, it's being nudged into working again. So when you clean out, clean up, and stay clean with the Sankey Fit program, then yes, even an individual on dialysis stands a chance of the kidney and the pancreas beginning to do what they need to do, but especially the kidney cleansing, detoxifying. And I have seen individuals walk away from dialysis. There's no magic. They needed to cleanse, they needed to become hydrated, and they needed those organs to begin to work again. As long as God's body is alive, if the organ hasn't withered and disappeared, it literally will rejuvenate itself. And that's what the whole Sankey program is about, is causing the body to do what? Reverse, recover, and restore. The body is designed by God to heal itself. You just have to give it what it needs so that it can do just that.
Definitely. So with somebody that is on dialysis, would they do whole regimen or would like I know they're very limited on fluid intake. So would you recommend more just the Belage by itself along with Intercept? Like which ones would there be a preference because of that limited intake of fluid?
Okay. Well, not to go against the system, the key is the limited intake of fluid is because the kidney is unable to remove the fluid from the body. So what has to happen there is maybe there's another way to remove fluid from the body. I don't know. I'm just a poor little fella from the projects. Okay, so I don't know much, but if an individual was to begin to do steam treatments, okay, on a daily basis, 2 or 3 times a day, when you go into a steam bath, in some cases, you can literally sweat out through the pore, the trillions of pores in the skin. You can sweat out a quart or two of fluid. And so what's coming through your pores is just pee,
Wow.
folks. I just want to say it like it is. It's just waste. It's just inflamed waste material that's coming out of the body. So you urinate it out or you sweat it out, but you're still getting rid of these nasty, dirty, filthy fluids. And so if it comes out through the skin or if it comes out through the urethra, you're still getting rid of it. Are you hearing what I'm saying? So an individual can literally sweat out a good deal of those poisons and toxins and give the kidney a break, give it a rest. And once it rests and it's receiving all these nutrients from the microcellular level, then there's a great chance that the kidney begins to heal itself. It begins to do more of what it was designed to do. And who knows, the person may just walk off of dialysis like I've seen many people do.
Oh wow. I think that would be absolutely amazing. Another thing that I know is very rampant in the Caribbean and of course throughout the United States is diabetes and high blood pressure. Um, and I know these are silent killers, especially high blood pressure. And of course, this causes other things, but I want to talk especially to diabetes and high blood pressure. How can these products assist? And I know you're probably going to be repetitive and you're going to say it over and over again, but I think persons need to understand and understand clearly what it is these products are actually doing. So if someone
Okay.
is on diabetes and has diabetes and high blood pressure, how can we assist them through that?
Okay. Well, I'm going to say something real quick like that most people have never heard. and that is that on my radio program last week, we talked about is sugar the cause, too much sugar the cause of sugar diabetes? And the answer was no, 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 1,000 times no. You see, most people that have diabetes end up with high blood pressure. And if they have high blood pressure, they end up with diabetes. Why? Because they're both caused by the same thing. We know for the most part that cholesterol from animals, okay, causes the buildup and the blockage in the arteries and veins, which literally eventually leads to stoppage and high blood pressure, strokes, aneurysms, so forth, so on. This blockage, though, we found out was not caused by sugar. Sugar aggravates it, but that's not the cause. They did a study, university study. They took 20 young, strapping young men, real quick, and they put them on a 65% fat diet. That's lots of fat. That's 5 or 6 hot wings at a meal, 4 pork chops, scrambled eggs, and bacon and sausage for breakfast. In other words, just grease, 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 grease. And these young men in their 20s, after 12 weeks, every one of them was a diabetic. They weren't falling out in diabetic comas, but their numbers
Oh,
said that they were diabetics, okay?
wow.
So then to make sure that this was real, they took 20 more strapping young men in their 20s and they put them on a 15% fat diet. That's the one that I'm on. You know, my fat comes from avocados and nuts, but not the grease because I haven't eaten animals in 40 years. But the key is they put them on a 15% fat diet, and that's called the GLAD diet. The SAD diet was the one the others were on. That was the standard American diet, okay? Lots of fat. But the
Right.
GLAD diet, GLAD, was the God's life activating diet. And that was the fruit, nuts, and grains and vegetables that God gave man in the beginning. But they put them on 15% fat diet and they gave them a pound of sugar every day. You're not hearing me. A pound of sugar every day. So you would think that automatically they would all be diabetics. But in 12 weeks, guess what? Not a one of them was a diabetic. In 6 months, not a one was in 9 months, not a one. So they could not make them diabetics by giving them a pound of sugar as long as their diet was low in what? Fat or grease. Are y'all listening to me? So what they found out was that
Wow.
when we take sugar into the body, the brain tells the pancreas to secrete insulin to go break that sugar down, keep it from getting into the bloodstream. And so when the insulin gets to the receptors, okay, that should receive the insulin receptors, they can't get in because there's something blocking the receptor. Guess what it is? Grease or cholesterol. Y'all ain't getting this. So the problem was not the sugar, it was the grease. Now, yes, sugar or activates it or aggravates it, but here's the deal. The reason they call it sugar diabetes is simply because an individual with diabetes, if they urinated on the ground, ants would get on it. Why? Because it's full of sugar, because they can't break the sugar down and can't go anywhere. It stays in the bloodstream. And so when they urinate, it comes out on the ground. But it wasn't caused by that. That aggravates it, but that's not the cause. The real cause is that it's too much fat in the system. So, how do these
Oh,
products work? The Crenew, with its auxilia, patented formula, stimulates metabolism and digestion. And it literally at night goes to work with its oxidative enzymes and so forth and basically burns up the sugars and the fats and the starch products that are in the bloodstream, and they don't enter the bloodstream. They burn them up in the gut. They don't make it to the bloodstream. The person loses weight, sugar goes down. Oh, y'all ain't getting this. Blood pressure goes down because the bloodstream is literally being flushed and cleansed, and they're not dumping these fats and sugars back into the system the way they usually do at night. And so the visceral fats are broken up. They're not deposited into the veins. The sugar is not deposited into the veins, so the person's body begins to normalize. Again, you're just simply helping the body clean, reverse, recover, and restore itself.
wow. Like, listen to me. When I listen and I talk to you, it's like I'm always blown away. Like, constantly blow me away with something new, and the knowledge is just amazing because I just feed on it. Like I want more. I want more. You know. So, for instance, I know that the side effect, for instance, even in women and men for high blood pressure and diabetes, is impotence. You know, the sex drive goes. Men aren't able to do what they need to do, and so a lot of times they do not take their medication, especially especially high blood pressure medication, because they gotta stay good at home. You understand what I'm
Right.
saying? So how can we help? How can we assist those individuals through that problem? Because I know that it's a big, 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 big problem.
Okay. Well, I've got two facets of answering that with the Sankey. I'm just so excited about the Sankey products. Again, I've waited on something like this for over 40 years, in my 40 years of doing this. And then I found out that the formulation of these products by Mr. Bahid Idias and his staff was 40 years. And I've been in the business 40 years. And so I've waited on this 40 years. Like the children in the wilderness, wow, it's being found time, right? But the bottom line is the problem with erection by the way, in my 30s, I had erectile dysfunction. In my 30s, I'm 70 now, folks. This is 6, 7 children later. Okay, so I'm saying that the body can recover, restore itself. But the bottom line is Leviticus 17:11 tells us that the life of the flesh is in the blood. So if you're not having good life, that means that there's not good blood flow. An erection for a male is simply blood building up in a muscle. Are y'all getting me? The penis is just a muscle. We're grown, so we're going to talk about what it is. And so when it engorges with blood, then you get an erection. But if you're not getting good blood flow, then that's the problem. Well, the Sankey Fit products, especially Balage, literally causes the blood to flow into the bloodstream, the vessels, the arteries, the veins, and even the little capillaries, the smallest blood vessels that are literally all shriveled up in the body because they're not getting any what? Blood flow literally begin to open up. We show that with our micro scanner. We take this little handheld microscope and it literally shows in the finger when you look at it that you're not getting circulation. The capillaries are shriveled. They just have heads. They don't have bodies and tails. There's no blood flow. We give you the Balage to drink, and 20 minutes later, with the same microscope, we put it on the finger, and we actually show them that the mitochondria are beginning to do what they're supposed to do. They're beginning to pulse with the energy, and we see the actual formation and extension and growth of the capillaries. Y'all aren't listening to me. We show it to you right there where you can see it. People, for the first time in their lives, get a chance to see their blood and how it works, or how it's supposed to work, or how it's not working. And then they know in their minds that they must do something. When you see your cells covered with grease and inflammation, and you see all these little free radicals running around in your blood, and then you drink something, and the free radicals begin to disappear and rush through the system, coming out. You see the fat particles begin to dissipate. That means that the body, though, is eating them up. Oh, y'all aren't listening to me. And then you see the little capillaries begin to stretch out. And then you begin to feel your body getting stronger. And wow, folks, are y'all listening to me? That's what the Sankey Fit system is all about. It's going to go down to the microcellular level and increase circulation. And that works its way back up from the cells into the tissues, into the organs, into the systems, and it works its way to the penis too, folks. And so, no more erectile dysfunction. In other words, the body begins to heal itself, begins to cleanse itself, the prostate, all that begins to work like it's supposed to, and you get your life back. Are y'all listening to me? We talking about bringing some marriages back together here, folks.
You understand it? Listen to me. That's all I'm thinking about. I'm like, listen to me, baby. You got marriage life, baby, right
Come
there.
on,
And
come
hold
on,
on,
come on, come
and
on.
Valentine's is coming up. Listen to
Absolutely.
me. We can do some things.
I
So
work
another
with
thing that
Go ahead.
go
No, I
ahead,
just
go
want to
ahead,
say this.
please.
I work with individuals in their teens and 20s with erectile dysfunction because they're eating
Oh
so many
wow.
animal products. They're drinking alcohol. They're doing all the things that are just destroying the poor kidney. And, the kidney is destroyed. The prostate is messed up and all blocked up. The bowels are not moving. And that whole area becomes a problem, and erectile dysfunction jumps straight at them and scares them to death. They come and see me every day. And then, of course, a whole lot of them are in their 60s, 50s, 60s, 70s, but even 20s, 30s, and 40s, individuals are having erectile dysfunction.
So another question that I had. So I mean that's absolutely amazing. I am like, to me, that in itself is a gold star. because then not only that, it tells me that we are going to reverse, recover, and restore not
Right.
only marriages but the body. That person's body is going to, it's going to happen in their body. They're not going to be suffering with that high blood pressure, not so much pressure on their heart. So what about cancer patients? Because I know that's been a question. Persons that are suffering with cancer, whatever type of cancer it is, how can we assist? Can we help?
Yes,
Can we
yes.
assist with that in any way, shape, or form?
Absolutely. One of the things that the Sankey products do is that they work at the mitochondria at the microcellular level. They literally help to repair the DNA in the what? In the mitochondria, in the cell. And the DNA, or the deoxyribonucleic acid, big word, literally is what Sankey talks about: respect for the inner spirit, or the intelligent force within. Well, God has placed in our bodies something called the DNA, which tells the body what to do. It tells the cells how many times to divide. And it also keys and kicks in our immune system. The trillions of white blood cells, the T cells, B cells, phagocytes, which mean large eater, will scavenge through the body and eat up everything that doesn't belong in there. Now, this immune system literally is starved to death in some cases. And what happens is, when you put the Sankey products in, they feed the body at that level, and it's called gene expression. It actually tells the genes to begin to do what they were designed to do in the beginning, because now you're literally flushing out the poisons and toxins. You're getting all those free radicals out of the way. You're getting all that grease out of the cells that has the cells all blocked, all that inflammation out of the cells. Okay, now the blood begins to flow, the nutrients begin to do, the body does what it's supposed to do, and the immune system kicks in gear. Listen to me carefully. Cancer, folks, is not not this monster that came out of space from outer space. Cancer, what is cancer? Cancer is basically what? An immune system that's depressed. When the immune system is strong, the white cells
Yeah.
go out and they'll eat up everything, even cancer and AIDS, germs, viruses, and disease, if you hear what I'm saying. But when the body is not, even AIDS simply means what? AIDS. What does it mean? Acquired immune deficiency syndrome. It simply means that the immune system is down. So if the immune system is down, build it back up. It's right in our faces. All these diseases are simply because God's body, the immune system, the DNA is not working like it's supposed to. And when you can get down to the microcellular level and feed the DNA, feed the immune system, it kicks back into gear and the body heals itself, even from AIDS and cancer. I've seen it hundreds of times. I didn't heal anybody. They healed themselves when they simply gave the body what God gave it in the beginning, which was the live fruits, nuts, grains, and vegetables. And over time, the body basically healed itself. But what Sankey has done, they've come in with that quick start to jump in there and boom, just put all this flushing and all this feeding and nourishment of the cells, all this balancing of the cells, and the body takes off. The immune system begins to do what it needs to do, and the body heals itself, even from cancer and AIDS, folks.
Wow. So, like, once again, like, all I'm hearing is reverse, recover, restore,
That's
reverse,
all it
recover,
is.
restore. And like, you're repeating yourself over and over again, but it's like I hear something new every time you say something else. Like, it's just an addition to it
Right,
or add
right.
to, but the same thing over and over again, that, you know, we're not being fair to our bodies.
That's
So,
right.
in not being fair to our bodies, we have to now then just make sure that we're putting everything in that needs to be put in. So
Yes.
another question that I
Can
have
I say
regarding,
something here, if I could?
oh, please
Um,
go ahead. Please go
we
ahead.
we have the Sankey products, and the Sankey wellness system it can now be found in the PDR, or the physician's desk reference. This huge book with all these thousands of diseases in it. There are only two diseases. The father of all disease is indigestion. The, the bloating, burping, griping, flatulence, and all that. Why does that happen? Because the food is not digesting. If it's not digesting, what does it do? It's staying in the system poisoning and toxic, becoming putrid, morbid, foul material that goes in and auto intoxicates the cells. Okay, so when that happens, your immune system are you still
I can
there?
I can see you. My camera's not
Okay.
acting up,
Okay,
so I
that's
can
what
see you.
that.
I can hear you.
Okay.
So one of the questions is heart disease.
Okay, once again, we're talking circulation. We're talking arteries and veins and even capillaries that are clogged up with cholesterol. When they check your cholesterol, they check for the cholesterol that's in the blood. And oftentimes they'll tell a person your cholesterol is fine. And that person goes home and has a heart attack or stroke. Supposed to. The blood, they start losing weight, and that's less blood vessels. For every pound, extra pound on your body has to make an extra three-quarters of a mile of blood vessels. Okay, I'm getting a shadow up. But bottom line, for every 1 pound that
Sorry,
you're overweight, your
feedback.
body has to make an extra three-quarters of a mile of blood vessels to service the area. So as they begin to lose weight on this program, because the fats and sugars are being broken down and taken away, and they're not going onto the body, as they lose weight, the blood vessels, they don't need as many blood vessels, and guess what happens? The heart doesn't have to beat as hard, and it begins to do what? Rest, and the pressure comes down, the disease begins to reverse, recover, and restore, and their bodies begin to get better. The body is just basically healing itself because you're taking some of the strong that the body can't recognize it, okay, as an enemy. It looks like it doesn't look like an enemy anymore. And so the things that come in that should free radicals and so forth begin to look like they belong there. And so the body begins to accept them, and it begins to jump on things that it shouldn't jump on. But the bottom line is, even in autoimmune diseases, as the body begins to be nourished and fed at the microcellular level, and the genomic expression begins to improve, the body begins to the tell the different organs and cells what they're supposed to do, and they begin to fight off not the friendly force, but they begin to fight off the enemy again. They attack viruses and cancer and AIDS cells and so forth. Free radicals, they begin to knock them out, and then the body begins to be at rest at homeostasis. That the endometriosis was so bad